Jobs, we're cranking them out at about 200,000 a month. And what I want you to see here, that black line, is that it's pretty rare that we get increases that average more than about 225,000 a month. So we're doing okay on the number of jobs. And the employment report that came out on Friday doesn't change that. We had an increase of, what, 73,000 or something. And I think that's pretty clearly attributable to weather. We're going to get to January, and you're going to see something probably 250,000 or 300. I don't think the trend has changed. I think the number of jobs that we're creating is adequate, but they're not great jobs. A lot of them are part-timers and temps. Many of them are in the low-paying food and beverage industries and retail. So the quality is kind of crummy. And as a result of that, income just isn't growing that much. It's growing by about 1%. So if your income isn't growing, it's hard for you to sort of really pick up your pace of spending. But as we go forward, I think the number of jobs is going to pick up from 200,000 to maybe 225. Hence, the unemployment rate is going to keep working its way lower. We've dropped, let's talk about it. Maybe this is the spot to talk about this. We've seen it drop 0.5% in the last couple of months. And people are going, oh, well, that's just because everybody's dropping out of the labor force. And it is true that the labor force has been declining. Fair enough, that's right. And over the last year, it's dropped by about 50,000 a month. Prior to the recession, it was increasing 150,000. But the important issue is, why is that falling? The ones who are negative will say, oh, well, that's just because all these people have been out of jobs for so long that they've just given up working, given up looking for work, and when they do that, it causes this decline in the labor force. Well, that's true. However, the problem is that the number of quote-unquote discouraged workers has been dropping, not increasing. So it's kind of hard to explain a 0.5% drop in the last 2 months and blame it on discouraged workers. As you might expect, as the economy gets a little bit better, in fact, their ranks are sort of gradually falling. Still higher than where we'd like them, fair enough, but it's going the other way. My reason for the labor force dropping is because of the baby boomers. People like me, they're retiring. They were born, as you can see on this little chart, between 1946 and 1965. That's 1964. So add 65 years to that. What do you get? 2011 to 2039. So when you retire, you drop out of the labor force, right? So to me, the biggest reason why the labor force is declining and why the unemployment rate is falling so rapidly is because of demographics and the baby boomers. And that's sort of okay. I want to come back and revisit this unemployment rate when we talk about the Fed, but the fact that it's dropping so quickly and the labor force declining, in my view, is not such a bad thing.